Welcome to the Zebra Influencer Series. I am your host, Bob Woodward, and in this episode, I will be asking the questions you want to hear the answers to. My guest is Paul Vogt, Director of Channel Programs and Strategies from NiceLabel. Prior to NiceLabel, Paul actually spent 23 years in the Zebra Printing organization, responsible for specialty printing solutions. Welcome, Paul. There was recently some financial news about NiceLabel and Loftware. Can you briefly explain what that means for our audience?
Sure. And hi, Bob. I'll be happy to explain it. So, Loftware and NiceLabel have combined together under the Loftware banner. The product brands include NiceLabel, Spectrum, and SmartFlow.
That's great, Paul. Can you help the audience understand how the legacy Loftware solution and the legacy NiceLabel solution come together as a holistic solution?
Sure, yeah. So Loftware is the number one in labeling solutions with enterprise level businesses, particularly strong in North America. NiceLabel is number one in labeling solutions selling through channel partners and is particularly strong in Europe. So the two companies' product lines and sales strategies complement each other well.
Thanks, Paul. Basically, what you just said to make it clear is it's a nice combination. It's not so much about the solution itself, it's more about the market strength of the respective companies.
I think that's about right. Our Spectrum solution, for example, it's the established standard for labeling and artwork management across global companies, where the NiceLabel solution has been adopted and is well accepted for regional productivity solutions by companies of all sizes.
So, Paul, on behalf of the audience, can you describe what is meant by enterprise labeling management?
Enterprise labeling management is the consolidation of all the legacy label printing processes under one platform. The thing is, Bob, that every company the world over has to print labels for a host of applications, for barcode compliance, for inventory, for shipping, for logistics, for supply chain management. So label printing is absolutely critical. No critical application within a business should be left to ad hoc legacy processes, right? And yet that's exactly what's happened with labeling. The barcode label was invented some 40 years ago. And over those 40 years, as you can imagine, multiple legacy ad hoc manual or point solutions have evolved in just so many companies. Enterprise labeling is what brings all of those together. It consolidates all those legacy practices together, streamlining, simplifying them all into one standard platform.
Thanks. I understand that, but that drives a follow-on question. How would a customer know they need enterprise labeling? Is there you know, a lack of structure, a lack of process? What would be the trigger that would send them on that path?
That's a good question, because you've got to ask yourself how many labeling processes, how many label printing software packages do I have in my supply chain? If it's more than one, you need enterprise labeling. It's like many business processes, Bob. Labeling is often under the waterline. What I mean is, if you think of an iceberg, above the waterline, everything's just fine, and the costs of your labeling and IT processes are manageable. What you don't realize is that under that waterline, there's a long list of legacy processes which tend to be error prone, costly, lacking in quality control. There are all sorts of risks involved, many manual operations. Once you go below that waterline, it's not hard to see that you've got significant costs that need to be addressed.
Very good. Thank you, Paul. And switching gears here a little bit, NiceLabel has a very long-standing relationship with the Zebra Printing Group. Can you tell our audience about the integration of your application with Zebra printers?
Yes, we've been working very closely with Zebra for over 15 years as one of Zebra's software development partners. And our vision is that users should go to zebra.com, download the Zebra Designer software to get started with designing and printing labels on Zebra printers. And then when a company wants to step up and begin their journey towards enterprise labeling management rather than just a single point solution, then they come to the NiceLabel and Loftware product ranges. So NiceLabel solutions are 100% compatible with Zebra Designer. Zebra Designer, the entry-level software, and then you move up to NiceLabel, but you don't lose any of the work you've done. Everything you've done, your label designs and forms, they're totally usable in NiceLabel.
Great. And I understand that it helps the internal processes, but can you go down the path a little more in detail of why labeling is so important to the broader supply chain?
Yeah, sure. So efficient and accurate labeling is critical to the successful running of the supply chain. If you think about it, Bob, without a labeling process or with an incorrect label, the supply chain actually breaks down. It's like the label is the passport for the product or the carton or the case or the pallet that you're shipping. When your customer receives your delivery, it's the label that identifies and routes the shipment.
Okay. NiceLabel is very strong in the automotive sector. Is that different in any way from other industries?
So the beauty of our labeling solution is that it supports processes right across industry, whether it be food and beverage or life sciences or electronics. And so we've got a tremendous record of being able to supply benefit and ROI across industry. But this is particularly true within automotive. For example, as an automotive parts supplier, the only thing worse than a faulty part is a faulty label. A misprinted digit or a mislabeled part can mean costly recalls, dissatisfied customers, ultimately lost business. And with this much of your business riding simply on getting your labels right, you need to bulletproof your label production process and protecting it from manual data entry errors. In other words, you need to digitize your labeling.
Can you share some of the companies that the audience might have heard of that you've worked with in the automotive sector?
Yeah, many suppliers to the automotive industry use NiceLabel and Loftware software, such as Eaton, ZF, Autoliv, Hella, Gates, Yokohama, and Cummins. And there are also auto manufacturers who use our software for their enterprise labeling management that include GM, Toyota, Isuzu, and Harley Davidson, among others.
That's a pretty impressive list. Um, can you talk a little bit about the compatibility between the Loftware solution and the NiceLabel solution? Are customers going to have any issues with this integration as they start down the path of an enterprise labeling solution?
Sure. So obviously, coming together, top priority is getting aligned roadmaps. As with any combination like this, NiceLabel and Loftware are putting our customers at the priority and ensuring a smooth integration. What we're starting with is actually driving Zebra printers, making sure that you get the best performance when it comes to driving Zebra printers out of both Loftware and NiceLabel.
So, could you maybe identify a couple of the business problems that you've solved for customers? Maybe just one or two specifics that might give the audience an idea of whether it's dollar savings or
Mm,
improved productivity or whatever.
yeah, absolutely. For many companies in the automotive sector, they grew their supply chain printing and labeling operations over many years so that now they print thousands of different labels using multiple different software and protocols. So maintaining the whole labeling process is costly, and streamlining their processes under one platform immediately reduces costs. But not only that, errors are a probability. Transparency is limited when you've got these multiple different processes for labeling. Another example is making a change to a label design. It's really difficult just to change the label design. Sometimes, and I'm so sure many of your listeners, Bob, will relate to this, it requires an IT change request, and it can take weeks just to change the label design. So it's work that's often outsourced and so can be expensive. And often your listeners will have little control over the cost of their supplies process with all of this. So the NiceLabel and Loftware solutions address all of these issues, streamlining the processes, increasing productivity, and reducing cost.
That's great. So, how do you manage the changes that are required and the requirements of the quality assurance programs that your customers might be driving?
Yeah. So quality assurance obviously is critical to all of this, and we centralize the entire quality assurance process to coordinate with our customers' workflows according to their QMS. So what it means is that the label templates that business users design are stored centrally in a managed database, and then all changes are tracked and recorded for full traceability, and approval process is smooth. So the database provides a complete version and change history of each template, and access to label templates is managed and controlled. So the right people have access to change and approve and check the label templates before they go into production. So the whole thing is managed and controlled centrally.
Great. I'm sure our audience has a bunch of questions around. I have these, WMS platforms. I have an ERP system. I have an MES system. How do I integrate my label management into those systems? Can you talk a little bit about the integration into those existing applications?
Yeah, sure. We're always integrating into other business systems. So that's typically ERP platforms, warehouse management, supply chain, or manufacturing execution systems. Sometimes we're working under SAP or Oracle. Other times it's with a customized ERP. So yeah, we're very used to making it easy for customers who are using these different solutions to digitally transform their labeling without compromising the integrity of the business systems. So we configure our label cloud platform to integrate with cloud business systems in a matter of hours.
This all sounds really good, Paul. What could a customer expect from an ROI perspective?
ROI obviously is absolutely critical, and our solutions help customers produce accurate labels every time. And so often ROI is measured in terms of speed or elimination of errors or time saving, all sorts of ways in which ROI is calculated. Virtually all of our customers report on how they experience direct cost savings. One customer said that the solution reduced IT labor costs by $45,000 per year. Other customers talk about it saving in terms of hours. So there's one customer talked about saving 20 to 30 hours in labor per week in just one of their operations, the one that they particularly focused on calculating. But also, customers calculate ROI in terms of eliminating error. And one customer used to budget $350,000 per year to cover errors related to labeling. Can you imagine that? Because it's, misrouted pallets of stock, waste, and so on. Now they don't have to budget anything because we've got the process streamlined and with errors eliminated. And many customers base the ROI in reduction in inventory costs. Others base it in terms of being able to cut delays due to labeling. And so they're able to get to market quicker.
Great, thank you. Thank you for sharing your insights on the benefits that existing customers can enjoy and new customers could expect. For the audience, if you're interested in learning more, please reach out to your Zebra reseller or feel free to contact NiceLabel directly. Paul, I want to thank the audience for your interest in Zebra and our innovative partners. And Paul, thank you for sharing your expertise and experience. We look forward to seeing you on another Zebra Influence episode.
You're very welcome, Bob. Thank you so much.